Let's go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy alike. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, one of the biggest discussions of the sequel trilogy is, of course, the character of Luke Skywalker. Now, ever since the release of The Last Jedi by writer and director Rian Johnson, a lot of fans, including myself, did not agree with how the character was used in the overall movie, especially how he was killed off so early on in the sequel trilogy. Now, we do know that George Lucas originally intended to kill Luke Skywalker and have his death in Episode 9 as opposed to the middle film of his version of the trilogy. Now, of course, George Lucas was never involved in the current sequel trilogy by Disney. That was just his original outline for the films. But looking at everything here, a lot of people have had a huge debate on exactly how Luke Skywalker could come back to life. And a lot of people have been wondering if J.J. Abrams is lying or not when he said to Mark Hamill, "No, you're dead, get used to it all." At least that's what Mark Hamill told us. So, looking at the original script of Return of the Jedi, there's a very interesting piece in there for sure. One of the drafts goes over Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, we talked about this lightly before in the past, but we never got the full reason as to exactly how Obi-Wan was able to come back to life, flesh and blood, during the Endor celebration. So in one of the original endings of Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he comes back to life, he's flesh and blood in front of Luke Skywalker. Luke is shocked, he couldn't believe, and he actually questions Obi-Wan how he came back to life. Well, what's really interesting is there's a portion in the original draft, or the original ending of Return of the Jedi, that could most definitely be applied to Episode 9 if they really wanted to, where in the original script of Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi was able to come back to life because of a purpose, and that purpose was, of course, turning Anakin Skywalker back from the dark all the way over to the light. So shifting Darth Vader back into Anakin Skywalker was able to bring Obi-Wan Kenobi back into the living world and out of the netherworld. So in a sense, we've been hearing a lot of these different leaks and rumors suggesting that Luke Skywalker is going to be around Kylo Ren, quite a bit in this movie as a Force ghost. And let's say, for example, if Ben Solo gets that redemption arc. Let's say if Ben Solo eventually, becomes redeemed. He gets redeemed by somebody or something, per se. And that in itself would be the reason as to why Luke Skywalker is able to come back into the living world, is because Luke now doesn't have a purpose in the netherworld of the Force. Now, that was an original idea in the original script of Return of the Jedi, and exactly how Obi-Wan Kenobi was able to come back to life. It was all because of reason. Alright, the main purpose of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the netherworld of the Force was essentially to convince Luke Skywalker to turn Darth Vader back to Anakin Skywalker. Now, if J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio really wanted to do something amazing, they could do something in a sense where actually Luke Skywalker comes back to life after Ben Solo gets redeemed. And after Ben Solo gets redeemed, you do have Luke Skywalker back in the flesh and actually communing with his sister Leia, and actually walking off into the sunset and having a beautiful ending. And then the real death of Anakin, or the real death of Luke Skywalker, could very well just be ambiguous if they really wanted to do something like that. Now, the big debate about all of this is that, well, then the death in The Last Jedi would be meaningless, it would be a waste of time, it would really just, kind of make the whole entire trilogy just seem like two films in a sense. A lot of people are saying that. So with the character of Luke, I feel like that J.J. Abrams just has to do something amazing like that with the character of Luke in order to really fix the character. Now, we do know that he's doing some adjustments to the script here and there for Skywalker. He's doing some pretty amazing things, apparently. Some shocking revelations will be made in Episode 9 involving the bloodline, so that's one thing to look forward to. But as far as Luke coming back to life, right, we're not quite sure if J.J. Abrams was lying when he said that he's dead for good. He also said things like this with Khan, right? Very similar things with Khan in the Star Trek movies, and things actually did a complete 180. So, the proof is there. J.J. Abrams has, lied before. He has hidden some things of certain movies here and there. And, well, you know, if he's really trying to hide a surprise, what else is he supposed to do? So that's my take on another way that they could bring Luke back to life in a shocking way, where it could actually make some sense that actually connects to the netherworld of the Force and purpose overall. Like I say, let's say, for example, Ben Solo gets redeemed, and that in itself brings Luke Skywalker back to life because he no longer needs to be a Force ghost communing with Ben Solo, convincing him to turn. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.